The fictional clandestine program from the Marvel Universe, known as the Weapon Plus program, has been accountable for creating numerous uncontrollable weaponized individuals. Initially started as the program to create super soldiers, the organization took to altering genetic structures and conducted cruel experiments on various living beings, mostly mutants. In today's video, we will talk about one such test subject whose story was closely knit with Wolverine. She was a mutant going by the name Native and possessed attributes similar to that of Logan. However, her endoskeleton had no adamantium coating like Logan, for which her retractable claws were bone-like. Native's appearance in the comics has been rather short, as she died at the end of 6 issues, but her story is strong enough to resonate in the audience's minds. So, without further delay, let us begin today's video and explore the origin of Native. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Native Origin Explored. Created by Greg Rucka and Derek Robertson, Native made her first appearance in Wolverine Volume 3, issue number 13. She was one of the test subjects for the Weapon X program, along with Wolverine, where the scientists gave her the codename Feral. Not much is known about Native's life before she got captured by Weapon X, and similar to Wolverine, she had also managed to escape from the malevolent organization. Published in April 2004, issue 13 begins with Victor Creed, aka Sabretooth, along with 2 other fellow hunters in the forests of Vancouver. They were the hired forces of an offshoot program of Weapon X and were currently in the hunt for Native. They tracked Native to a river and began shooting her relentlessly. Seeing their target lying unconscious, the 2 hunters proceeded forward, not knowing that Native too had a regenerative healing factor. Even before Creed's senses could perceive, Native decapitated the 2 hunters and brutally injured Creed. Creed returned to the man who had hired him, Mr. Willoughby, and charged him for not disclosing enough information about their target, Native. Mr. Willoughby offered another chance to Creed, allowing him to kill Native if needed. Sabretooth planned to use Wolverine to hunt down Native, as the latter possessed superior tracking skills. Creed located Wolverine in a diner in Montana and handed him a confidential file containing information about Native. He briefly taunted Wolverine about his lost memories and told him that Native had also escaped from the program. This was a subtle attempt to make Wolverine feel that he might get answers about his past from a former Weapon X test subject. Creed informed Mr. Willoughby that with his new plan, he would take both Wolverine and Native down for them. As predicted, Wolverine arrived at the forests of Vancouver. He made a bonfire and sat across it when Native slowly approached him. Wolverine tried reasoning with her, stating that he had no intention of hurting her. Wolverine almost manages to win her trust, but a sudden spark of memory flashes through her brain and drives her crazy. She savagely attacks Wolverine and runs off into the darkness. Recovering from his wounds, Wolverine began tracking her movements, which led him to a cave with bizarre scrawled drawings on the walls. The drawings represented Native's memories of her days in the Weapon X program and how she managed to kill everyone and escape along with a partner. On the earthen floor, Wolverine found 2 dog tags named Wolverine and Feral, clearly indicating some sort of connection between the two. As Wolverine left the cave, Native attacked him once again. Unlike the previous encounter, Wolverine did not hold back this time. The 2 engaged in a heavy battle, each giving their best, but after several minutes, they got attracted to each other and stopped fighting. They surrendered to their intimate animal instincts and kissed each other passionately. After making love the next day, Wolverine tries explaining to her that they have to move as Creed is surely after them. However, she fails to understand the situation and wants to show Wolverine something outside the cave. When she stood there, a bullet hit her at the base of her spine, putting her out of commission, followed by another bullet which hit Logan in his lower back. Creed had been tracking the 2 of them and waiting for his opportunity to take them down, for which he took shots to neutralize the 2 of them. As he approached the 2, Native healed and stabbed Creed aggressively in his groin and eyes. Staggering off Creed, Native turned her attention towards Wolverine, who had also healed by then. As Wolverine insisted on escaping, Native goaded him to climb further uphill. After climbing the rocky hillside, they reached a 1-room cabin at the top of the hill. Upon entering the cabin, Wolverine recognized the smell and learned that he had lived in the cabin along with Native. Native then uttered "home," which revealed to us why she wanted to show the place all this while. Meanwhile, Mr. Willoughby, who also also got a lock on Native's location, sent several units of soldiers to take them down. The units smoke-bombed the cabin and entered with heavy ammunition, only to be killed by an enraged Wolverine and Native. As they moved out, 3 helicopters appeared and attacked. Wolverine managed to take down 2 of the helicopters until he was electrocuted by the last one, which also captured Native and left. We then get a glimpse of Creed, who managed to climb uphill and found Wolverine lying unconscious. He managed to convince Wolverine that this time he wanted his revenge on Mr. Willoughby and Mr. Murray for selling him out and would tag along with him to take them down. The two headed for the lab facility known as the Workshop in Montana, where Native had been shifted to. Dr. Vapor operated on Native at the Workshop, where she put her under large amounts of anesthesia. With the anesthesia working, Native could not resist, and Vapor further poisoned her with a radioactive material that could hinder her healing abilities. Their primary concern was to harvest Native's eggs, which could be used as their new test subjects in future. While analyzing Native's blood samples, Dr. Vapor noticed that Native was pregnant. Meanwhile, Wolverine and Sabretooth arrived at the Workshop, and Wolverine revealed that he had been playing along, all this while because he wanted Creed's help in locating the facility. He ran over Creed with the SUV they arrived on and stabbed him through his skull, stating that they can never become allies. Wolverine rammed into the facility, and after killing a dozen soldiers, he found Native. He encountered Dr. Vapor, who informed him about the radioactive article inside Native's blood and the eggs that had already been sent to Mr. Willoughby. Wolverine extracted the article from Native's body and killed Dr. Vapor slowly by squeezing her neck. As the two left, we got to see Sabretooth following them. On their way, Wolverine mentioned to Native about his friends, where they could reside peacefully, but Native felt she never belonged there and left Wolverine. As Wolverine noticed her absence, he kept searching for her, only to be met by Creed. After a brief fight, Creed knocks Wolverine unconscious and leaves for Native, who is then at the ruins of her cabin. Creed soon tracks her and they engage in a fight. After healing from his wounds, Logan looks for Native and finds her viscera, along with a note from Creed stating how he should be thanked for this. Her death happens in issue number 19, and it was the last time Native was seen in comics. Native was later mentioned in the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Wolverine 2004, issue number 1, which was published in October 2004. It was a handbook that contained comprehensive profile details of many characters associated with Wolverine. What makes Native so deadly? As showcased in the comics, Native was quite similar to Wolverine. Like Wolverine, she was also a mutant with regenerative self-healing capabilities. She could recover from lethal injuries at a remarkable speed. When Victor Creed shot Native and Logan, Native was shown to recover faster than Wolverine. She possessed superhuman strength, durability, and senses, which was why she was difficult to capture by Mr. Willoughby's team. Native's accelerated physiology allowed her to gestate a fetus within hours, for which she was pregnant with Wolverine's child in a matter of days. She had 6 retractable claws, which were as long as 12 inches. Although her endoskeleton was not fused with adamantium like Wolverine, her claws were extremely sharp and durable. It could tear off flesh and penetrate through any kind of material. If that is not enough, she also had elongated and sharpened nails on each of her fingers, which also served as lethal weapons. Along with being a master tracker, she could also cover scents from her captors. The unique ability was later showcased by Logan's son, Daken. However, with all the unique set of power attributes, she met her demise at the hands of Sabretooth. Marvelous verdict. Weapon X program had a long list of test subjects who either died or escaped to their facilities. These subjects posed a significant threat to them on 2 grounds. Firstly, their existence could reveal the cruel experiments that the organization conducted, and secondly, these subjects in most cases sought revenge from their makers. Owing to these reasons, the organization had to cope with different ways to contain or kill them. This was the case with Native. At first, Mr. Willoughby and his team tried capturing Native alive, but later allowed Victor Creed to kill the target if needed. Native's demise, after living through a painful past, was heartbreaking. She was carrying a child in her womb, and Logan had promised to take care of her and the child forever. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.